Hey everybody, today we're going to be going through a couple different functions. First is SUMIF, and then also the SUMIFs, which gives you a few more variables, COUNTIF and COUNTIFs. So let's jump right in. Right here, this is a data table that we had in another of the videos. Basically, it's got sales data, we've got different home developers, things like that, we've got dates, we've got months, and we've got years. So let's say we're trying to find different, we want to break it down in terms of how many sales there were in 2019 and what's the dollar amount, and also what's the dollar amount in 2020. There we go to use this function, SUMIF. So what we do with the SUMIF is the first thing is it wants you to, we're basically telling it to look in here, add all the totals up that have a criteria in here, the year that matches this year. Then same thing with 2020. We get different amounts. Now SUMIF and COUNTIF, they can find one variable. So in this case, we're adding up a total based on one variable, which is a year. So you can't check it based on months like right here. This is just an example of if we tried to do it looking at January as well as the month here, it can find the January numbers, but these are all the same. It doesn't factor in the year. So it's great if you only have one thing that needs to be looked up. If you have two, you've got to use something like a SUMIF down here, which we'll go through later. The COUNTIF is the same thing, except instead of giving you a numerical count, or let's say a dollar amount, it's going to give you just a numerical account. So what you're going to receive is how many 2019s there are, how many 2020s there are. It's not going to tell you what happens if you added up all the 2020s. So like if we did a SUMIF right here, we would just get basically 30 times 2019 and 30 times, or 119 times 2020. And the same thing happens here. The same issue is up here. When we try to use two variables, it just does not work. It provides the same thing, only looks at one, so we can't add this in. So these are what the answers are when we try to use them according to, we try and make them fit places they don't really fit, just to show an example. Same here. This, however, is what happens when you use SUMIFs and COUNTIFs. You see that we have 13 total January numbers right here, but when we use COUNTIFs right here, instead of reading 13 in January, we realize it's 0 in January 2019, 13 in January 2020. They're both pretty straightforward to use. It's just a matter of kind of getting in there, playing with them, making them work. So we're going to work through them right here. So January, we're going to do a SUMIF first. So SUMIF, and this is going to give us that total of 637 even. And that's what it should be, and it'll go all the way along here. We'll be able to drag it down, adjust it, and we'll see that it'll show the same as up here. So the range we want to find is going to be, first we're going to go for January. So we're looking for a month. So the range that the month is in is right here. So you can go to where your months are, click the column, and then we'll hit F4 to lock it down. So F4 puts the dollar signs on, F4 is money, locks your reference in. Then the criteria we're looking for is the month. So we just click that. Then another comma, and what's the range we want to add? We want to add the sales. So we'll click that whole thing, and again F4, lock it down, F4 is money. Close that parentheses, enter 81,637, 81,637. Cool, so it works. All right, now what we're going to do is drag it across, and we just grab the little, this little button right here, bottom right, that's square, drag it across, and let's just make sure. 92,776, spot check. June is 76,985. June is 76,985. January 81,637 and 81,637. Beautiful. So another example. We'll do it one more time. SUMIF. The range we want to find is the month. So do that, or again, you can just click it right there and F4, lock it down. F4 is money. Then criteria, we want to find that month of January, comma, and the range. Again, F4 to lock it down, close the parentheses, And we got the same thing. So we'll drag this guy over, and they match. So that's the application. That's what it looks like there. And here we'll look for the entire year. So we're going to find these totals. So all we're doing here is looking for this year in here and totaling them here. So equals SUMIF, the range. I want to find the range the year is in. So I'm going to click the year. Lock it down with F4. Then, what's my criteria? My criteria is 2019. So we'll do that. There's one somewhere hidden under here. However, I don't feel like changing it. It's the same value here. And then we will go to comma. And what's the range? We want the sales again. So we hit that whole column. F4 to lock it down because it is money. Close the parentheses. And what do you know? We have 238, 476, 238, 476. Beautiful. So we'll do it for 2020, just for another example. Okay. And then we'll go equals SUMIF, the range we want to find, year, F4 to lock it down, comma. We want to find 2020, comma again, and we want to find the sales figures, which is going to be column A. F4, lock it down, and then close the parentheses, enter. And we'll go up here, little formatting, currency, 819635, 819635. Awesome. So we know how to use that. Now we'll do Countif. So we're going to count the number of times there was a sale like this in each year. So Countif, the range we want to find is right here. Lock it down. And the criteria is going to be 2019. So we should be getting a value of 30. Let's see. Beautiful. I don't know why I'm on italic, underline, and bold, but let's see if we can get rid of that. Okay, so we'll do the same thing here. Equals Countif, range, give me that year. F4 to lock it down, money. The criteria is going to be 2020. Close parentheses, and there it is. 119, 119, 30, and 30. And it'll be the same thing for these months, so equals Countif. The range I want is a month, so click the whole thing, F4 to lock it down, comma, criteria, January. And there we go. See the same thing we have, January showing 13, and it'll show us the same thing here. So we can copy and paste that. But, oh, showing 0. What happened? Let's hit F2. And there we go, because it was a relative reference. That's why we always lock these down. Whenever we don't hit F4, these things can change when you copy-paste them. So you may need to adjust the first one. So we hit Enter, and yep, there's our 13. So now that we've adjusted those, we can copy them, go right across, Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. And we have the exact same results as before. So 14 in December, 14 in December. 11 November, spot check. 19 in March, 19 in March. 13 January, 13 January. 30 and 19 for the year, 30 and 19 for the year. Beautiful. But now we need to check a couple different variables. So now here's the better function of the two, well, the better of the two functions. And again, that's only if you need two variables. So equals SUMIFs. So first, what do we want to add up? We're doing the sales right now. So this should be dollar amounts. So we're going to hit our sum range, which will be the dollars. And we always F4 to lock it down because that is money. And the criteria range 1. So what's the first thing? We're going to look for 2019. It can be either in this, whatever you want to go first, but I'm going to do the year. So 2019. So we pick where the years are. That's the criteria. That's the range the criteria is going to be in. Hit that, F4, lock it down, money. Then criteria 1, we'll click that, 2019. Hello. Then we will go to criteria range 2. We want a month. So month, F4, lock it down, money, and then we hit a month. Close those parentheses. And what do you know? We got 0, and we have a 0. Beautiful. So let's try and copy it over. We're going to see some issues, but we'll look at the adjustments. Okay, so here, the month moved over properly. So you see January, we have that here. February, yes, also there. Same with the end. December's good, but the problem is the year. Year doesn't move. So we fix this pretty easily by we find this one. So what's that? That's a magenta? I don't know. But regardless, we'll find the light purple, let's say, and that's going to be right here. And what we need to do is keep it in column J. We need to make it so it doesn't move from here to here to here to here. So column J, we add a dollar sign, and it'll still adjust up and down when we need to, but it won't be anything that gets screwed up. So hey, there we go. We have through September $0, and here we've also got through $0, or $0 through September. 41,121, 41,121, 104,579, 104,579, 92776, 92776. Perfect. So all we're going to do right now, move this thing down one. Copy, Control C, then we'll hit Control V, paste. Then we'll hit F2 to check the cells. Great, a good visual representation. So we see that we fixed this problem, but now that we've gone down a cell, this is the issue. So the month. So K36, we slide it up. Now it becomes K35 in the fuchsia. Yeah, I'll go with fuchsia. And then what do we have to do? We need to keep this consistent in the range here. So we want to put a dollar sign in front of the 35. We don't want to use the K because the K will keep it in this row. That was good for year, but it's not good for month because we're going horizontal now. So we need to keep it in this plane instead of in this plane. So I hit enter, and now we should be able to go right across, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So 81, 81, 56, 56, 118, 118, 133, 133, 66, 66, 52, 52, 0, 0, 0, 0. Beautiful. We got ourselves a SUMIF. Now we're going to do a COUNTIF, and we're going to go through this one a little quicker. COUNTIFs, plural, my mistake. So COUNTIFs, again, syntax is different, but it's a little faster. Criteria range 1. What do we want to add? So year. That's going to be here. And F4, lock that thing down. Okay. Criteria 1, 2019. But remember, we're going to have to keep it in the J. So we're going to do F4. Instead of locking all of it down, we hit it again. We hit it again. So you can cycle through it up to 4 times with this. So there's no dollar signs. Both the column, or the row, the column. We want the column right now. So, comma again, criteria range 2, I want to find the month. So that'll be this. The range it's in is right here. Click it all. F4, lock that thing down, money. And then we're going to click right on the criteria 2, which is this. But we had the issue when we copied down last time. So we're going to hit F4. And right here we have the J locked. We're going to lock the 40. So we want to keep it in this plane, the horizontal. Last, when we locked the J, it was the vertical. F4, F4, and there it is. So you see there's a dollar sign here in J, then there's one here in 40. Close it up, enter, 0, 0. Now we can just drag across. Of course, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's just double check. There shouldn't be anything through September of 2019. That's what we have. Beautiful. Then 5/11/14, 5/11/14. Then nothing the last 2 months. And through October of 2020, we have 119. 119. There you go. You've got yourself a SUMIF function, a COUNTIF function, SUMIFs, and COUNTIFs. With that, you should be able to break your data down once you get your absolute references with the dollar signs pretty squared away. And now there's no need to necessarily go through a bunch of different functions and play around with them because you're the expert. All right. Have a nice day, and I will see you later.